Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we are looking at Food Wars Season 2. Now, yeah, I know many of you are probably like, what? You just finished it now. So, way back probably when this aired, I forget exactly when it aired, but I was watching it alongside everyone else for the most part, but I had to take a break during a certain sequence of events, and it was near the, I want to say episode maybe 9 or 10 around that, where I had to take a break from watching it. I mean, this is only 13 episodes season, but I had to take a break, and I had several plot points spoiled for me, and it kind of made me disinterested in the season. So for the most part, I was like always like, yeah, I'll watch it in my own time. I'll get around to it. I mean, there's only 3 episodes behind at this point, or 4 episodes behind, however much I was originally. Before I knew it, that turned into a decent while before I started just going, you know what, I need to go finish this now. And what's ironic though is that I actually, didn't know season 3 was coming out when I started deciding just to rewatch it recently. Like, I mean, it was not even 4 or 5 days ago that I was like, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch it again because I'm like so pissed off that I'm 3 episodes away and I'm still not done with it. But then all of a sudden I hear, what was it, I think on Wednesday, hey, season 3 was announced. I was like, that's just really interesting timing. It wasn't because I was already anticipating season 3. That was just interesting timing on that part. So I think it kind of worked out in the long run that I'm watching it now, and I can talk with you guys about it. So if you guys didn't know what season 2 was, I'll tell you really quick. So essentially, it's all about this autumn elections, which has all the the major chefs and the major characters like Souma, etc. They're all versing one another to see who's going to be the winner. It's a kind of almost like a battle royale of sorts. Now the thing about this was that it started off very good. I really liked some of the characters. I mean, like characters like Subaru were interesting in their own right. The brothers were really cool to see their kind of sequence of events, what they had to deal with. We get to see Megumin and Rina also kind of have to battle it out. Megumi, by the way, I said Megumin, like the girl from Konosuba. But they're all battling it out with one another, and that was interesting. I really liked it. I liked the premise of it because I think, oh hey, a giant tournament arc with food sounds kind of interesting, especially for a shonen type show. The problem was that, unlike the first season, which I loved the first season, I loved the characters, I loved the pacing of it, I loved how each week's episode felt like its own episodic kind of adventure, but at the same time had a continuating story. This was, by the way, I think I said continuating, which is not a real word, it's a continuing story. Sorry about that. Shouldn't do reviews so early in the morning, especially with lack of sleep. I think that's like probably one of the worst things I can do. But anyways, what's interesting is that the first season was epic. I think I gave it a 10 out of 10. I really loved it fully. Season 2, however, because at times some of the battles are very predictable, and at times you almost kind of wish certain characters would win, and for some reason none of the girls won, which I think was kind of odd to me, because especially some of the girls in general are really very strong. I mean, Irina didn't really participate. It was more so her leads, that one girl, I forgot her name off the top of my head, but she participated in lieu of her. None of the girls won. I thought it was kind of odd to me. I think they should have, at least got past the first stages, but most of them failed out right away. I think Megumi was the only one that actually got past her first stage and got to the second part. But it was sometimes overly ridiculous. Not in the sense of like, oh, Food Wars. I mean, Food Wars is always kind of ridiculous. But Season 2, the tournament felt ridiculous too often, and that's what killed the kind of momentum of it. And I'm not saying it was bad, mind you. It wasn't, terrible, but some of the characters were almost overly villainous, and it was kind of weird. Like, I mean, for example, Subaru, we're going back to him. His whole thing of taking people's utensils away and stuff like that, that was stupid. I mean, I get it. It's, interesting in its own right, but to me, that was kind of like, wow, you're making this guy overly villainous. And then when you had Souma go, oh, I'll take you down, and if I lose you can take my utensils and I'll never cook again. You knew Souma was gonna win because the series continues on, so it's like that's not surprising. That's it's stuff like that that makes a lot of the things too obvious. Now, like I said before, I had a certain part of it spoiled. I had the final bout spoiled, and I really didn't want that spoiled because I was curious who would win out of the 3 that were up there. It was Souma, Ryu, and I believe the other guy who always works with that girl from the laboratory. Those 3 working together, or not actually working against each other, I should say. And I was wondering who would win. I really thought maybe Souma would possibly win, or at least get second place. But we find out he loses. Of course, obviously, it's the guy who works with the girl with all the with the ability to smell all the aromas and stuff like that. So he was the one who won that. Now, I think what saved Season 2 for me was nearing the end, we saw Souma kind of have to go on a pilgrimage to different restaurants and work for different restaurants, especially Shino, who was an earlier opponent of Souma's, which I thought was really cool. But I loved how that sequence of events felt not only real, but it felt really nicely paced and was interesting. I really liked it. I think it was a good wrap-up for it. That is why I feel that Season 2 was a lot weaker than Season 1, and I really feel that, you know, I'm hoping Season 3 is going to be excellent. I've been hearing a lot of mixed things from people. I've been hearing people say it's amazing, it's going to be the best thing, because of obviously the manga is way past that. But I've also heard some questionable things where some people are saying it's overly ridiculous, and like even for Food Wars level, it's overly ridiculous. So I'm a little worried. I'm a little on trepidation when it comes to this, but I'm still going to give the series a try because obviously I love Food Wars, and I'm so sorry that it took me so long to get to this review, but it worked out longer because I guess I keep, you know, it fresh in my mind too, so it worked out. Anyways, guys and girls, if I had to review Food Wars Season 2 between an A through F, I'm going to give it a solid B+. You know, originally when I was watching, I wasn't going to give it around an A-. I was thinking like lower than that anyways. I was always thinking around the B section, but what saved it, like I said, was the last several episodes. I think the last 3 really are the best episodes of the season, and I think that was what kept it from being kind of a weaker show than even at B+. But I would love to know, what are your thoughts on Season 3? You know, if you're a manga reader, please don't spoil anything in the comments, but you can talk about why you think it's going to be so bad. Maybe like some weird character shows up or something like that. Are you anticipating it? Are you excited for it? Because I mean, I'm excited for it, regardless if it's bad or good. I love Food Wars, so I'm going to definitely give it a chance. Anyways, guys and girls, I will talk to you later today. Actually, well, probably this is it for my reviews today. I might have one other review to out today, but I'm not 100% sure. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great blessed day, everyone. Bye-bye.